Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my channel, Zem Tales. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest content. Thank you for joining, guys. Let's start our story. My sister was actually my mom. How? My mother was born in a small village along with her two siblings. Her parents were successful business people who had built their enterprise together from the ground up. They met while attending university, same class. They fell in love and then they got married. After that they started their business. Alhamdulillah, their business grew and became successful. My mother was born as the first child. After that, her two siblings were born. When they grew up, they all went to school. My mother was very smart but had a tough personality. She didn't tolerate disrespect. If someone upset her, she reacted strongly. She even hurt some classmates and was expelled from a few schools. But by the time she reached secondary school, she had changed completely. She became calm, responsible, and kind. She helped her siblings with school and supported her parents in their business. She continued to get top grades, always ranking first or second in class. After finishing secondary school, she wished to join a famous university in the capital city. Her parents agreed because she had graduated with high marks. Her father took her to the capital and enrolled her. In her first year, she did really well. In the second year, she asked her parents if she could live outside of the university dorm. Her parents agreed, and that's when she met other girls living outside the dorm. Those girls were part of the reason my mother and I lived as sisters for 20 years. My mother didn't have a boyfriend. Her dream was to become a successful businesswoman, so she was not focused on dating. She was fully dedicated to her goals. However, as she made new friends, she met boys and girls, and life started getting more complicated. A boy among them kept trying to get close to her. At first, she rejected him many times, but he was clever. He acted like a good guy in front of her. He didn't smoke, didn't talk to girls, and spent his time watching TV or playing PlayStation while the others partied. Slowly, he gained her trust. He convinced my mother, and they started a relationship. He became the first person my mother loved. What I didn't mention is that this guy and my mother's friends all lived in the same building. They had planned everything. They wanted my mother to become like them. Since she didn't smoke or act like them, they wanted her to live like them and join their way of life. And they succeeded in part of their plan. My mom got pregnant with me. When she told him, he denied the child, blocked her, and disappeared. She begged him to marry her, or at least stay until she gave birth. But he threatened her. He said, "If you ever mention my name again or even try to contact me, I will end you." He even pointed a gun at her. Heartbroken and afraid, she kept it all to herself. For 8 months, she stayed silent. Finally, she told her mother. My grandma was shocked. She left the village and came to the capital. She told her husband my daughter was sick and stayed with her for a few weeks, but stayed 2 months until I was born. They arranged for her to give birth in a private hospital. My grandmother made a secret deal with the doctor. She said tell her the baby inside had already gone. And so she did it. My mother, young and confused, had no idea what was happening. She had never held a baby before and didn't even know if the baby in her womb was alive or not. She delivered me via C-section, and they told her I had died. They didn't even let her see me. She cried endlessly. The truth? I was alive. 2 years later, she convinced her husband to adopt a child from the orphanage. The doctor who delivered me helped again. That's how my grandmother brought me home. Everyone believed I was just an adopted child, but in truth, I was her daughter's baby. Why did my grandma do all this? Because she wanted to protect my mother's reputation. In our village, having a baby outside marriage brings great shame. My grandfather wouldn't have forgiven her. So, my grandma made this sacrifice to protect her. I grew up thinking my grandmother was my mother, and my real mother was my sister. My maternal grandfather was like my father. My mom stayed in the capital where she had completed her university studies. She became a strong businesswoman, got married, and had more children. She only visited the village once a year. But one day, everything changed. When I turned 20, my grandmother got seriously ill. She called both me and my real mother to her side and told us the whole story. That's when she told us everything. My mother fainted. For over an hour, she lay unconscious. When she finally woke up, we cried in each other's arms. After a few weeks, My grandmother passed away. We forgave her because she did everything out of love. My maternal grandfather found out the truth and cried. He apologized to both my mother and me because for 20 years, fear of him and my grandmother's protection of my mother's dignity had kept us apart. My mother and I lived as sisters, not knowing we were mother and daughter. Today, I live with my real mother. She loves me more than her life. I've graduated from university, I have a job, and I started my own business. As for my biological father, I don't know if he's dead or alive, and I don't care to find out. The day my mother begged him to marry her was the day I needed him. Not now. Whatever happens to him is not my business. I have no space for him in my heart, and I never will. I don't want anything to do with him, and I'll never forgive him. For me, my mother is my everything. She's been my father and my mother. I don't need anyone else. She's enough for me. Okay guys, that's the end of our story. But before I go, let me share one last piece of advice with you. Be careful who you trust. Not every smile is real, and not every hand you hold will help you. True love protects, supports, and always stays with you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.